Tyson Fury is still in the ring behind us. Wow. He looked like he was having a debrief there with Frank Warren and his manager Spencer. I'm still quite speechless with what I've just seen. I'm going to come to you first, Barry. You're the former boxer here. You're the former world champion. That's embarrassing for boxing, that was.
Yeah, I'm eating humble pie right now because I thought it was a total mismatch, that Fury could do anything he wanted, when he wanted, and that wasn't the case. I did think Fury won the fight, but the only winner really in that ring tonight was Francis Ngannou. He was absolutely fantastic. That might very well be the best debut I've ever seen.
Yeah, and it was that. Todd, you were practically ringside. How did you see it? Did you score it to Fury or Ngannou?
You know, it felt like a draw, but I know when Ngannou goes back and watches it, he'll watch round 9, which I thought he completely gave away, and round 10, where he only threw 3 or 4 punches. He could have won this fight. He should have won this fight, I think. And Tyson on the cards didn't lose, but I think he lost his mystique. When he said at the end there for Usyk, clear the ring out, we're going to go right now, no one's buying it anymore. No one's going to look at him now and think he's the pound-for-pound king. And him fighting Usyk, he probably would have been a 3 or 4 to 1 favorite. In Vegas now, I think Usyk's the favorite. Tyson Fury, to me, dare I say, looked a little bit washed tonight, and I don't know why.
But the fact that you said Ngannou could have won the fight, and you're right. Just think about that for a while.
Hey,
Ngannou could have won the fight.
It's honestly crazy, man.
I talked to Frank Warren and Bob Arum before the fight. I did the interviews, and when I said, what chance do you give Ngannou, they both laughed and said, well, we think it'll be over in a couple rounds. No one took it seriously, and right now, no matter what brave face they put on, they're embarrassed. Almost, if he lost, he'd have been humiliated. This could have been a complete disaster for boxing and for Tyson Fury's career. I mean, he's going to get big paydays, but he went down a big peg tonight.
I think the perception of his whole resume is tarnished now because he fought a Wilder who's really not skilled. He's a novice skill-wise, but he has one powerful right hand, an old Vladimir Klitschko. So in general, people are going to look at Tyson Fury a lot differently than they did before. You know, like me myself included, I think Usyk has I really thought Tyson Fury would be victorious, but now I lean towards Usyk because a first-time boxer is going to do that to you. That's honestly embarrassing.
I still think that Fury has been absolutely fantastic in parts of his career. There were some of the Wilder fights. The Klitschko fight wasn't a great watch, but it was tactically very astute. But that tonight was awful from start to finish, and he looked tentative, afraid at times, and he looked like the guy who ran out of ideas. And I never thought I would say that about Tyson Fury, that he ran out of ideas against a novice, and that's the fact.
And like he is a novice. The only winner is Francis Ngannou tonight.
He is a novice, but he's a fighter, right? He's a guy that's clearly weren't afraid to be in there. Do we need to give Francis Ngannou credit before we take away all the credit from Tyson Fury? Should we give Francis some, Todd?
Yeah, this is the equivalent of Fury going to the UFC and basically beating Ngannou in the cage. People would laugh if that was to happen. But Ngannou looked composed. He didn't look frightened. And I'm sure some people are going to say Fury didn't take him seriously. But in round 1, Fury came out and threw a couple of shots to try and get him out of there.
Exactly.
And after that, Ngannou, never at one point did I think he was out of the fight. And again, if he goes back and watches, because that's why he's so confident, he's like, man, a couple of tweaks and I can beat this guy. Fury looks scared of him.
Honestly, I'm letting you guys talk because I am speechless. I'm speechless. Even from the knockdown onwards, I said, look, regardless of what happens from here on, Ngannou's won the fight for me because I never ever expected Ngannou to get close to Tyson Fury. I don't know what they do next. They want the Usyk fight December 23rd. Tyson Fury is not fighting Alexander Usyk December 23rd. It's not going to happen. There's no way to go into that fight.
I mean, if he does,
until the new year.
I'll be really shocked if he fights him. After this performance, he should stay away for right now.
I think Fury thought, and I did as well, when he hit Ngannou, he wouldn't know what to do. I thought he'd be maybe lost in there. But every time he hit Ngannou, he fired back straight away. And Fury was like, whoa, hang on a minute. You're supposed to be backing up. Lost, afraid, and he wasn't.
I spoke to Ngannou yesterday, and I said, look, dude, you don't fool me. I watched the UFC. I've seen behind the scenes things. What you're showing, you're better than that. And look, I didn't expect that, but I said all the clips you've been putting out and you're going over your front foot, you know how to box. I didn't expect him to box that good though, Todd.
Hey, you talked about the UFC fighter from New Zealand and Nigeria. Help me.
Oh, Kamaru Usman.
No.
Israel Adesanya.
Israel Adesanya bet 15 grand on Ngannou, and we were laughing on the way here, like, what an idiot.
Laughing.
He's just throwing money away, and he almost won like $200,000.
Yeah, we said, what an idiot, putting that money on a points win. And he must have been thinking, 1 second, let me cash in right now.
Right.
So they knew.
What does Francis do now? He surely stays around boxing, right? This is it.
This is where the money is for him. I tell you the fight I'd like to see now, and he'd still be a massive underdog, him and Deontay Wilder.
Yes.
Would be the shootout of all shootouts, it really would be.
Two most powerful punchers in the world. That's a lot of box office draw and mystique right there.
You know who the big loser tonight was, other than Alexander Usyk?
Yeah.
Because, like you said, Friday night happened on the 23rd. No one's clamoring for that Fury-Usyk fight like they were yesterday. Now people want to see either a rematch of those two or, like you said, someone like Deontay Wilder. So what happens for Usyk now, who was set to make tens of millions of dollars before Christmas? And now, who knows what's going to happen?
Was there any way, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, was there any way Ngannou was going to win that fight? Like, even if Ngannou won the rounds and we added it up, they've got the biggest fight coming up, undisputed. There was no way in a quote-unquote exhibition that Ngannou was going to get a decision here tonight. No way.
I thought
no
the scores
way.
were fair. I mean, one judge gave it to him. Did you think the scores were fair, Barry?
Oh, those scores?
Those scores, you thought they were fair?
Yeah, I thought they were.
Yeah.
I thought it was close enough. I think the fact that the scores were so close, I think we get over-exaggerated about corruption. It's incompetence most of the time, I think, with bad scoring. If he would have won the fight, he would have won the fight, and he almost won the fight, but I don't think he did. But all the big moments in the fight belong to him, Ngannou. And also, it's his debut, he's a novice, he was outstanding.
Is it a case of Fury just had a bad night at the office, or are we starting to see a decline right in front of our eyes?
It may be, but I just think that, stylistically, with those long arms, and Ngannou was sitting back a little bit, he was moving back and forth, and I think Fury, and he felt the power early, and I think Fury was just well aware what was coming back,
Right.
and I think mentally he thought it was going to be an easy fight. It's hard to switch on sometimes, and I was praising him for being the most adaptable fighter in that weight class, and maybe in boxing, and I'm totally wrong, because he wasn't adaptable at all tonight.
Yeah, he switched to southpaw in the third round.
Here's a good and bad thing, depending on what side of the fence you are. Before this, we were like, MMA fighters get killed every time they do this. Now the guys in PFL and UFC are going to be like, wait a minute, he can hang with the heavyweight champion of the world, why can't I do it?
Yeah.
Not everyone's Francis Ngannou, though. He has that equalizer in his hand. He has power, Not everyone has that same power, so they might not be successful in the ring.
The idea of tonight was to see who is the baddest man on the planet. To be fair, I don't know if that question's been answered.
Not at all.
I don't know if it's been answered or not. Tyson Fury wins this one just by split decision, and who knows, we might get an Alexander Usyk fight in December. What I can guarantee you, though, for December is what the DAZN have got coming up. Ryan Garcia versus Oscar Duarte. Ryan Garcia back at 140 pounds December the 2nd. A week after that, Devin Haney goes up to 140 to try and take Regis Prograis' belt. Won't be easy, WBC title fight. Jake Paul is back December 15th. December 16th, Sonny Edwards versus Jesse Bam Rodriguez in what I think will be a fight of the year. It's interesting. Interesting tonight. Interesting heavyweight division for the future. Make sure you stay locked in to the DAZN, because December is really a treat for you.